The busy builder said hello.
Hello. At least it's Friday for most of you. Ah, shit. I haven't painted those yet. I'm gonna have to paint them real quick. Yep. For some reason I thought those were on this part, not on these parts. Should be able to brush paint them okay. If I can find the paint I used. This one? It was. Whoopsie! Too much crap on the desk again. Because the decals I just soaked go here. I thought they went on the body. I didn't read the difference. That is my stupidity. So I'll just have to be sure to keep them damp until these are dry enough that I can put them on. Alright, let's get this cleaned out. I don't want to use the water currently. Because I'm still putting decals in that water, I don't want to have aluminum paint floating in it. Come on, open up. That was my mistake. So let's move these over here for a little bit. Give them a little extra water. Okay. Get this out of here so there's no mistakes with that. See, not every mistake has to turn into a, "Oh, I can't finish this model." Thought about going to the model club last night, decided not to. Didn't feel like I had anything really presentable. Finished or unfinished, just not presentable. And I was tired after work. Yesterday was a busy day. Decals really don't like to be live streamed. I had no problems with any of these. And these ones are all acting up.
Almanac said Happy Friday, TVB.
Hi, Almanax. How you doing? I ordered a set of Tamiya carbon fiber, and I'll show you why in a second. Now, I won't be able to carbon fiber everything on here.
At Almanac said resting my blown out back.
Oh, mine's been acting up this week as well, so I share that pain. I can sympathize with you on that. So, they have you paint things that are supposed to be carbon fiber, a mix of black and gold. So, that's what this will be. I want to try and get these carbon fibered so I can make templates for that. Suspension, not so much. Too much going on there. This, they actually give you carbon fiber decals for this shape here, but not for these. So I was going to use tape to make templates for this and use that as well. Just using this stuff. It came like that. From what I can tell in the pictures anyway, it's supposed to have carbon fiber there, and if I can make it look like it, I'd like to. Well, that's why I've been so slow on it, is because I just want to take it one set of details at a time, one part. So like, I was able to assemble all this and get it painted. And I had to eyeball this line here, just based on what I could see, find online, things like that. And I guess I got it right, because these decals, so you have this piece here, the decals end right where the mirrors go in. And then these continue from there. And they followed the line naturally. They didn't kink or bow or anything like that, so must have done something right. Let's see if these fins have dried enough. Still tacky.
Asks, is this kit
pre.
or post the fake sponsor error?
Because I've got some decals I activated early. I misread the instructions. You got Johnny Walker on this thing. So yeah, this is definitely pre-barcode error. As far as the kit being made. But like the Ferrari, part of me wanted to go through and get the Marlboro decals for it. That's proving stupidly difficult, to be honest. Some of them need to be white, and I can't print white. But there are pictures of it running the barcodes on the track. I call them barcodes because that's just what they look like to me. So I think I'm going to concentrate on just making that kit look as good as possible. Or rephrase that. Make it look as good as I possibly can. The carbon fiber sheet will help with that too. There's a lot on that car. Thing is, this kit was tooled in 2005. And I could have sworn the moratorium on alcohol and tobacco was before that. Hi, Arnie boy. Hi, old man. You're active today. Yeah. 19 treating you nice, huh? Yeah. Sorry, old man Arnie came down for a visit. Hey, buddy. Yeah. Do I need to move this shirt off the back of my chair so you can jump up? I just don't want him getting on the desk, which I know he will do. You don't sit in front of the heater, you'll hurt yourself. I was thinking of painting the new Bradley today, but then I looked at the size of it, and I'm like, there's no way I could keep this in camera and paint it. I mean, we are talking a 1/16 scale M2A3 Bradley. Or M2A2. I got it base coated. So. Arnie. Yeah, let me move the coat. Shirt, whatever this is. There you go. Come on.
Spikes Railroad said hello everyone. Ed Almanac said Jesus. That's a big boy.
Hey, Spikes Railroad. How you doing? Yeah, I'd like to get this piece. I'd like to get this piece done, decaled, and all that, clear coat it, and then start working on every other sub-assembly, making sure that they're all as tight and neat as possible. How are these? They might be dry enough now. Dude, that could have been bad. Note to self, if I ever design a bottle for something essential that I really don't want a brush catching on the inside of it and tipping, design the inside with more of a curve so the ferrule doesn't have a 90-degree edge to catch on. I think that's how most people wind up spilling their decal solution. It's not a matter of clumsiness and tipping. It's a matter of, oh, I just caught the bottle on the edge of my brush and sent it flying. Wonderful. So those are saved. They're not gonna hopefully do anything bad the rest of the day. Just as I say that, why am I getting clumsy? I'm dropping shit, knocking shit over. Stay. Where's my brush?
Almanac's asks, are you giving them micro set or something equivalent after decal placement?
Yeah, I'm using microsol. Oh, that hurt. That really hurt. So yeah, I am using microsol. I just need to bring up a picture real quick to make sure I've got that boss logo in the right spot. These instructions are vague at best. Then again, it also seems like this particular car was used for a very short time because every other iteration has added vents and louvers back here, which I can't account for. I just didn't want it turning into a sneeze fest where I can't breathe in enough. Where you're sitting there just... you know? I hate those. So after I get this center sail area done, I'll set it aside for a moment. We'll throw some of the big stripe decals on the Kenworth, and then come back to this. Because I'm also working on this. And one decal, I think you have to hunt through the instructions to find the actual mention of it. Right down the spine here, there's supposed to be a black stripe.
Decals that crosses spread lines.
So you've got this area right here has a black stripe on it. It's not mentioned on the decal sheet proper, but in the instructions, right here.
3 Spikes Railroad just followed.
Thank you for the follow on YouTube, 3 Spikes. Welcome to the channel. Same with these under decals here that go underneath the side here. So you're kind of going back and forth between. But I want to get that one on, let it sit, because then I've still got to do the driver name on this side, because I've already got it done on that side. I don't want to risk, you know, grabbing that. It's not really a grab point anyway, just to be sure. And then once everything's on, it'll get another good clear coat. Does that continue on to... No, it doesn't. Okay. And I think that's the most particularly difficult part of F1 kits, is figuring out the layer order that you need for it. So you're not kind of doing things like, I had to figure out how much of the body to put together before I could do decals. There's some kind of vent that goes here and here. The instructions say to paint aluminum. They're actually black. And the same thing with some extra fins that go here. So, what to put on, what to keep out of the way.
At 3 Spikes Railroad said nice.
And decals aren't always my best friend. We've learned that on this channel.
At 3 Spikes Railroad said hi Almanacs. At 3 Spikes Railroad said hi guys.
How you doing? It's reasonably thick. Not Hasegawa thick, but not so thin that you're gonna tear it by looking at it the wrong way. If I can't get this to behave, I may just paint that. Why they split it like that, I don't know. The actual... It doesn't do that on the real car. Yeah, it's just a solid black line, even on the real car. And actually, it's not even a solid black line. Like, you see how the edge here is sharp because of the decal? It should actually have more of an airbrush fade. Just gonna put some water on it to help. I don't want to use the decal set just yet. Like I said, if I can't get it to behave, I'll take it off and just paint the whole bloody thing.
At Almanacs asks thick enough to require a sanding post varnish? Or thin enough that varnish will hide the decal film?
To me it looks like thin enough that a coat or two of varnish should hide the film. But that's to me. Others' mileage may vary.
At Sammy Fog 1919 said nice work, man.
Thanks, Sammy. How you doing? I just wish these F1 kits weren't so expensive lately. Even the new ones, and it's not the cost of the model, it's all the sponsorship. Yeah, we're gonna forego this decal. I'm not gonna fight it. No matter what I do, it's not gonna turn out right. Because all it is literally a thin line down the edge here and right up through the sensor that's on top here. I can paint that with a brush.
At Sammy Fog 1919 said I'm fine. Shout out.
So I'm not about to fight that. That's, you know the saying, pick your battles. Well, I'm picking that battle. these a little more. I also think I tend to overdo it with my setting solution.
At Almanacs asks the licensing.
Yeah, so
At SammyFog1919 said this Kimi livery is nice.
So this is a Revell kit, Revell Germany. It's a pretty simple kit. It shouldn't be any more than 10 to 15 pounds, or like 20 bucks. But because it's got Johnny Walker on it, Mobil, Mercedes, Siemens, AT&T, SAP, all these different companies, Hugo Boss, they all want a cut. And because they want that cut, guess what? This is now a $50 kit. And that's even before the scalpers get their hands on it. I got this at a fair value. I've seen other examples of this kit go for $80 to $100 online from scalpers who are more race enthusiasts than model builders. There's one I'd like to get. It's another, I think it's a McLaren style. It's like a mustard yellow, and up here on the front, it's an earlier body car, but up here on the front is like a snake head as part of the paint scheme. That's another one I'd like to do, but I couldn't find one for an agreeable price, given...
At Almanac said one would be
right?
welcome free advertising.
It used to be that wasn't the case until, I want to say, the late 90s, early 2000s. And that's when you started to see on all the packaging, like Tamiya would produce an F-22 kit, or they'd resell Italerri's kit. Or even on the Italeri kit, you see on the box, officially licensed product of Lockheed Martin, or this company or that company. To get around it, like, look at the F-117 that Tamiya sells with the cargo Humvee, or the security Humvee. It's a general purpose wheeled vehicle. It is not a Humvee. It's not trademarked. They're already paying one for the damn F-117. They don't want to pay another one. Yeah, let me get Kimi on the other side. And then we'll do that. Because I don't want to... There's some painting I want to do. But I want to be sure I got through all the decals I can. I haven't built the front or rear spoilers, so the decals on those can wait. And I just want to be sure that I've got all the other decals done that I can. But yeah, you would think they'd want the advertising, but they don't. Yeah, so the rest of these are for the other driver, or the other livery, or the tires, so we're not at these yet. But even like the new Revell kit of, I think it's the black and orange car with the Google Chrome rims. I've seen that going for 50 bucks straight from Revell. It's like, what? Here, let me see. I'm waiting for some paint though, but we do have another iconic car. Da da da. I went and primed the body already.
It's generic British race vehicle winking face with tongue emoji.
There you go. But yeah, all the companies want their little cut, and that's what really hurts. me see here. Like, this would be a neat one, but after building this, I don't think it's worth 55 bucks. It looks like the next step up from this one. This is the Vodafone version that's more chrome. Let's see if this list is too long, or this link.
At Sandy Fog 1919 said 55 is a lot.
Ah, too large.
At Almanac said can't see your monitor.
I know. You'll have to look it up on Amazon, just F1 model kit, and you'll see the Revell, Vodafone, McLaren, Mercedes MP425. I mean, there's some 1/18th scale kits that would be neat, that seem more value for money. But I don't want a lot of huge car models, I just want manageable ones like this. Alright. And don't even bother looking on eBay. That's where the real bad pricing is. And the other part of the problem is once the racing season's over and the popularity of the body design is over, most people don't want it. So they move on to the next one. So it makes the kit more desirable in the collector's market, which again, stupidly inflates the price. There we go. Hey Craven, how you doing? Where was I gonna look?
At VXCRAD and TFK said dang scalpers. At Almanac said I gotta spend some sizable funds replenishing my Mr. Hobby paint stock soon. Prices are not fun after the world started missing oil for some unknown reason.
Well, it's not just that. Mr. Hobby was having trouble beforehand. It's hard to even get it here. And this is before the oil crisis. I'm just seeing if that one with the snake liveries pop back up. I don't want to set this down until it starts sucking down a little bit better. But yeah, even the 1/20th scale Red Bull Renault is going for 198 by Tamiya. I bet if I was in Japan, I could probably walk into any shop and find it for the actual shelf price, no problem. But that's not happening anymore. Not here.
At the FCRAB and TFK said doing okay. Have a wheel deal that might fall through.
Oh. Let me see your wheels. With what I've got in mind, they might work for me. You know, once you get the new ones.
At Almanac said please elaborate later.
Hi, Frankles. Sorry, I'm just looking up his car real quick. Ah, where is it? I don't know, how do you think those rims would look on a 78? I know your tires are a bit wider, which would help me with cornering and such. Okay, just want to go over everything one more time, make sure I've got all the decals
At
on
Almanac
this.
said pity cameo.
Oh no, he's right here. He's a good boy. He doesn't get onto the desk too often unless he's really craving attention. Looks like I got the rest out of the way. These will have to wait until I get the spoilers and ground effects done. Which, after we get the decals on the Kenworth, we'll go into painting this stuff. Which will bring us closer to doing that. Just want to make sure that's not slipping down any further.
At the FCRAB and TFK said I don't think they'll look bad. I think they might be the same width though.
No, mine are 14 inches. Yours are bigger. The third gen had a bigger tire overall. Are you off work or on lunch?
At the FCRAB and TFK said oh, the diameter.
Yeah, diameter and width. I think yours are wider. Mine are pretty skinny. And the offset might push them out toward the outside of the fender well a bit better, too. As you've seen how mine are tucked under there. I don't like that.
At the FCRAB and TFK said actively working.
When the stream's over, I'll send you my wheel size, and you'll see. So if somebody were to ask you if you're working hard or hardly working, you'd say hardly working. Or working hard at hardly working. What you doing, Frankles? There's not a lot of room up here today, bud. What? Hmm? You just want some rubbins? Good boy. Where's a poof? You want a poof throw? Huh? You want to throw a poof for you? Got a blue one. You want a blue one? Go get it. Good boy. Where'd my tweezers go? There they are. Yeah, I think this will be a nice little model when it's done, though. Yeah, I don't have any of the cool urethanes and two-part clears and stuff like that. Wish I did. So, I'm just gonna work with what I got. Come here. Give it here. Boing! Been seeing a lot of model building videos online recently, which send my anxiety through the roof. Because I'll see people doing decals, and they'll have a decal like this completely off the backing paper, and just be like, I'm like, no! It's like, I'm feeling it, you know, like, just pucker. Hey, go for it. How you doing? Come on. It's like, once it's on the model, that's one thing, but they don't have it on the model. Come on. I should have put more water down. It's not wanting to slide as easily. Just trying to get it to line up back here a little bit. Come on. Get loosened. Loosen up. Right there. Come on. Right there. Really? There. Now the rest of you can do whatever the heck you want. This is why I don't put any setting solution on until after I have it mostly in place. Hey, Frank. And the way this thing was sticking, it may not even really want any. I also managed to win a pretty rare model that I've just quietly been looking for over the past few years. I built it once when it first came out in the early 2000s. I didn't like how it turned out, and it really didn't like shipping back across the ocean. It was released again in 13. I didn't pick it up then because I didn't know about its re-release. But yeah, I managed to get my hands on a 350th scale NX01. Okay, that's gonna look sharp on this. This is the kit that comes with the Lightning Express boxing, the dark blue or purple with the lightning on the sides. It also has these decals for a yellow finish vehicle. I've already got one Kenworth in like a dark blue, yellow or kind of color. I've got the American Eagle in yellow for the logging truck that I did. So I figured I'd do this one in a signal red metallic. Looking back, I should have done the other Kenworth in the signal red with the white markings on it, because, you know, BJ and the bear. Missed opportunity. And I might dabble in 3D printing a semi-truck as well. I found files for Rubber Ducks Mac from Convoy on CG Trader, complete with the trailer, so I don't have to go around finding the right kind of fluid trailer and stuff. This one's giving me the stickies too. Let's see if we can keep it from being as big of a problem. Just gotta get this corner up. There we go. And this is a simpler kit too. It's not marketed as one, but it's actually snapped together. There's nothing on the box that says press fit, and it's a skill level 4, but yeah, it's snapped together. Let's see how this one's behaving. Get some more setting solution here. And yes, this stuff will flow under through capillary action. You just gotta be sure to really... You okay? You gotta be sure to flood it well. Careful there, bud. Nope. Careful. Careful. We can't have this. We got open fluids, buddy. Come on. There you go. Yeah, I'm just lightly piercing the decal above the Kenworth logo. There is a Kenworth decal to go over that. I don't want to put it on until this one's fully sunk down and dried. If you really... How in the hell? If you really wanted to, and maybe it's something I could have done. I don't want to say should. I don't like shoulding all over myself. I could have cut this out, which would have made it simpler to apply. Just trying to even out some of the wrinkles. And you gotta be careful with that on a lot of setting solutions, because they will cause decals to wrinkle up after you apply it. But those are more like pucker wrinkles. These are just inherent wrinkles. If they do wrinkle after you apply the setting solution and you know it's down as far as you can get it, as far as where it needs to be, just let it sit. I know, Almanacs, I'm getting concerned. I don't have any other contact information outside of here for him. I hope he hasn't had any kind of medical issues or anything like that. Sorry, I have a very determined kitty cat. Okay, Frankie, what do we want here, huh? What do we want, buddy? Hmm? Yeah, you're a good boy. Yes, you are. You just want your scritches and prinkles, huh? Boop. Ow. You're being very bothersome. Or is this you telling me I need to take a break because it's been an hour? Hmm? Are you telling me I need to take a break? I don't think people want to see your little starfish there. Come on, Frank. You need to get down. You're too big for this.
Ed Almanac said we wants all the attentions.
He does. Yeah. He's a good boy, though. Yeah. Well, I can't throw the poofs. You don't bring them back close enough. How can I throw them if I can't reach them? I'm kind of busy here. Go get it! No, that didn't work? Okay. What's that? What's that? Was that your sister? Come on. Alright, I think I am going to take a quick break, though. It has been an hour. So I want to get up, move around, unlock my knee, and stuff like that. So I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Alright, we're back. And I grabbed some poofs for the cat. Frank! Dwing! Okay. Did you bring it close enough this time that I can reach it, bud? Hmm? Honestly, I really don't feel like painting all that much today, so... As long as the decals behave, they're a good low-key thing to do. I know they're not the most exciting. What, buddy? Where'd you put it? You left it back there? Bad boy. Here, you want the pink one? Hey, Frank, go get it. Bring it here. Thank you. Go. We didn't train him to do this. It's just a little thing he picked up all on his own. He just saw us throwing it, saw that if he brought it back to us, we throw it more, and he kept doing it. Good boy. So he taught himself how to play fetch. That's not too bad. Could be smoother. I can work it out though. Okay. There's a little more water. And this time we're bringing out the flooder. We're just gonna flood the hell out of this panel. Okay. But I'm going to start it from back here because there's a spot where it goes over a hole for the exhaust, and then that also matches up with the top of the door latch. But it shouldn't do that. Give me a second. Did you hear him yell at me?
Said yeah, all the attitude.
It's like having a little teenager. Or a speed softer. No, there we go. God, this looks horrendously ugly.
FBRCRAB and TFK said LOL.
So, not having played Airsoft for a while there, Craven, is everybody still going apeshit over HPA, or is it finally calmed down like we expected it would? Hi. I'm kind of busy, buddy. Yeah. Good boy. I can't see what I'm doing. Your mama wasn't a glassblower. I don't want to see that part of you either. Come on, bud. Get down. Thank you.
At Almanacs asks, well, is there really no licensed APC GP scale model kit from F1 movie?
Which movie? Oh, from the newest one? From the newest film? I don't know. If you can... Links are active. You guys should be able to post links in chat. If it's not too long. If you could post a picture of the car, or at least describe the livery, because didn't they just use an existing car? That gets started on it. Yeah, you can see how these are really just tucking in now.
Said it's a mix. The HPA scene is still kind of mainstream, but AEGS and even some GBBRS have been catching up fast.
Well, you know me. You know what I like to run. I wish I could play, just... I can't do outdoors. And the Layton indoor field just, it's way too cramped for me. That's what I liked about the place in Salt Lake, is it was big enough indoor that it felt outdoor. It wasn't all cramped hallways. Just most outdoor courses are too rough for my knees to be able to take anymore. Frank, hold on. Really, guy? Good boy. You gonna go purr in the microphone for everybody? Huh? What? What's this little toad you're popping on me, huh? Come here. Down you go. Where's the poof? Where'd you put it? You didn't put it by my bottled water. You didn't put it over here. It's not under my desk or my chair. So if I can't find the poof, I can't throw it, can I? No poof. I just think that with how old that I'm getting and my physical condition, getting back into it probably wouldn't hurt. In a regard of, you know, being active again. But it would hurt like a motherfucker trying to get back into it. But I almost feel like I need to do something a bit more physical. There we go. Alright. At least that one behaved a bit more than the other one did. And setting solution. So for those...
CRAV and TFK said the indoor arena is a bit cramped for me too, and a lot of the speedsofters practically treated us like target practice. But there's a new speedsoft arena opening up, so the arena could start feeling. At Theog CRAV and TFK said a bit more like intended.
I don't know, it'd just be nice to be able to have another place like what used to have that was open to all, but you were there. You saw how people who were older could use it too.
Said would love to see you out. It'll definitely help get me out the house.
You know, and that's why I like that's why I couldn't play at 12th Street and all that anymore. Just it was really starting to hurt. Just the uneven ground, tripping, stuff like that. And, you know, approaching 50, not exactly what you want to deal with. What was Kingdom? I don't remember Kingdom. Or was that what 12th Street was called? And another reason I wouldn't mind, not that I wouldn't mind, I'd like another indoor is, I don't know how well my skeletonized G36 would handle being outside. And it's got a tracer unit too, so... Oh, Kingdom! Yes, now I remember. Down in... by the Maverick storage yard place, yeah. Derp. I remember now.
At Theog CRAV and TFK said Kingdom was where we had the pallet villages.
Sorry, just it took my, you know, time-addled brain 10 minutes to catch up.
At Theog CRAV and TFK said it'll be fine.
It's fine, it's fine. But I want to show you what I was talking about, how the carrier film sucks down with this setting solution.
Said rolling on the floor, laughing emoji, rolling on the floor, laughing emoji, rolling on the
Come on, autofocus. Play nice for a second. Before, you couldn't even make out the Kenworth logo here. And now that the setting solution's working, the decal's melting down around it. Why are you proud of me? Craven's a fellow F-body enthusiast that I get together with sometimes, when life allows. We used to hang out more playing airsoft. I really like how that's starting to look, though. What do you think Milsim 2.0 would do if I showed up with the Humvee? especially if I decide to keep the hardtop. I'm still waiting to hear back on that, but fingers are still crossed. I don't like talking about it too much because then everybody gets anticipating and then it falls through. Frankie's being nice and patient now. He's just sitting here cleaning. Yeah, you are, buddy.
Said the owner would probably squeeze out a baby.
Good possibility. But, no, I just remember, and this is kind of another thing that not kicked me out of it, but got me out of it, is groups like the Desert Rats. You know, I remember all that stuff when they were trying to make the 12th Street field theirs. And I even got into it with the leader of that group on Messenger, because he's all acting like he owns it, or they're trying to say the other group owned it, you know. And I'm like, no, nobody owns it. It's an open field for everybody. And I had to go, you know, Gene Hackman from Crimson Tide on him, and I'm like, what's the fucking problem then? Everyone's free to use it. Use it. He didn't like that very much, because I guess it made him see how stupid he was being about a sport where you use electric guns to shoot plastic BBs at each other. And there's actually people I enjoyed playing with that stopped talking to us because they were part of that group. And yeah, it's like, if those are the kinds of attitudes that are going to be in this activity, I really don't want it anymore, you know? And I know that's a sentiment that went around with a lot of people at the time. I bet if I got back out there, the Duke would get back out there.
Said Mr. Obi-Wan was very disturbed in the Force.
Oh yeah, he was. And I loved it. One time I was out there with, you remember, you know, Jeff, Crazy Jeff, you know, Foxhound Jeff. We were at 12th Street, and, you know, the...
At the LCRAB and TFK, said I remember, they were more converted to some...
Yeah, they were. But, I remember being out there with Foxhound Jeff, not Desert Rats Jeff. The Desert Rats were there, and they're trying all their tactics and comms and stuff. And just the craziness, the way we played when we were together, me and the good Jeff, not the rat Jeff, they weren't able to advance because we were just so stupidly uncoordinated. It was like an example of how guerrilla warfare can work against tactics, and it was hilarious. But yeah, the same time that Rhett's group was going around, you're right, I saw that the coordinator of that group, for lack of a better term, was also doing a lot of, concealed carry training, and like you said, there's a lot of...
CRAV and TFK said it was because they were strict to a fault.
Yeah, they didn't allow for deviation from their plan. Especially, and that'll...
Almanax asks, but do you really need a hobby that disappoints to that level?
No, which is why I stopped playing. Because a lot of egos around here got into it, and nobody was willing to meet in the middle.
Ed Almanac said due to the kinds of people it attracts.
And I get that you get that kind of stuff in a lot of other places with this hobby. It just seemed real. It seems like a lot of hobbies in Utah suffer from it because there's a certain... Sorry, I'm checking the balance of the stripes left and right. There is a certain arrogance in Utah that doesn't exist like it does in other places. And it infiltrates every hobby here to one degree or another. Craven knows exactly what I'm talking about. You can't just enjoy it with your friends. You have to be the top of it. You have to be the leader of it. You have to control it. And once that starts happening, the people start leaving. And it happens everywhere. You get people like that regardless in Airsoft. It seems to happen more here. Wow, those are really sucking down nice. And Craven knows exactly what I'm talking about, too. He's like me. We just want to go out, have fun. If we get a little, mil-simmy, that's fine. But overall, we just want to shoot the BBs and go, I'm hit. And then hang around between matches and just have fun games. I hope they suck down around those door panels better. I mean, you even get it in the car scene here, which is really bad. Like... Maybe I should open my own airsoft field. With blackjack and hookers. Forget the blackjack. No, but even the car scene here. You go to a Cars and Coffee in almost any other state, and you'll get rat rods, you'll get the shiny stuff, you'll get the chargers that are just all credit card hot rod type stuff. But you'll also get people like me, who have a car.
TFK said I had to take a reset myself.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Craven.
CRAV and TFK said yes.
But one thing you'll very rarely see, unless someone like me or Craven show up, and now it'll just be me since Craven's got a pretty car now, is you don't see people who are just dailying. You don't see them with a car that's not perfect, that's got some dents, got some dings, got some faded paint, but they're still doing their best to try and get it.
Alpha male main character syndrome, Utah edition.
Hi. Gotcha. It's even worse than that. And you notice I'm not trying to name names, because it's not about any one person at this point. And that's always what pissed me off, is like, I'm just here to play a game, guys. I don't want to get caught up in this shit. There is one name I will talk about. Marcus Millsap. Claimed to be a staff sergeant. This is stolen valor. Claimed to be a staff sergeant in the Marine Corps. Everybody called him Sarge because he had staff sergeant stripes tattooed on his arm. You know, at first there was nothing to really doubt it. But then there's another player who actually was a Marine. He kept buddying up to and trying to get him to reminisce about the times they were together doing this and that. Well, one day the other guy calls me and goes, "Dude, I never served with this fucker in my life." I'm like, I kind of figured, because you never backed up anything he said. He's like, yeah, he's like saying he's in the Battle of Fallujah. We dug deeper. Turns out if he was in the Battle of Fallujah, he would have been an insurgent because he was 12 or 13. And at the time, he was in Utah penitentiary system because he was a juvenile offender. And once that got out, that guy disappeared too. But again, I understand that you get that in a lot of places with airsoft, but here it's just way fucking more prevalent. And honestly, like, if I were to do an indoor airsoft place, I'd have signs saying, check your milsim at the door, check your ego at the door. It's all about plastic BBs. You got HPA? Cool. Don't abuse it by turning it up after the match starts and after we chrono your gun. You know? Be the guy the kids look up to, not the guy the kids are afraid of. And apparently I had my own little fan club I was unaware of, because I went to one game and one kid started actually having a breathing attack, like I was some kind of hero, and I'm like, dude, I'm just here to play. Breathe. I don't know if you were there that night, Craven. That was funny. That kind of made me feel weirded out, though. And all I tried to do was be one of the good players. Call the hits, don't overshoot. Yeah. But I just tried to call my hits, not overshoot, and just be a good example to the younger kids playing. Alright. We're having a good decal day. We're having a good day. Oh, Craven, you can message me later. I was thinking Sunday we could probably get together somewhere around the Layton Hills Mall. Do something like that. Get some food, just hang out kind of stuff. The next day or two. I still got to get my exhaust leak figured out. I haven't been able to get under the car. It's not loud, it's just annoying. We'll have to wait till it dries, slice it, and then give it another go. Make sure our logo's getting fully enveloped here. Looks like it is. Let me see something. But you see how the decals really suck down in around that? Alright. I'll see if my lady can come too. If she wants to. So there may not be a stream Sunday, because I'll be hanging out with him. If there is, it'll be later. I'm off Monday too. My lady doesn't like riding in my Camaro. I think it's because the original Camaro I had didn't like her. Like, seriously, when I came back from the desert, she came to pick me up and drove the Camaro to the pickup point at the base. On the way there, the heater didn't work, the stereo didn't work, you know, nothing wanted to work. I got in it. Yeah, I got in it. It started right up, the heater worked, the radio worked. It literally Christined her. But this Camaro likes her, you know, it doesn't act up when she's in it. Especially when she got in her accident, it ran perfectly fine going to get her. Decline. Ooh, we're getting the spam calls. Oh, you brought a poof. Good boy. Boing. Okay. What? I heard that little attitude you had. Where'd you drop it? Okay, let me turn autofocus back on. Sorry. I left it turned off. I've noticed autofocus really doesn't like bright shiny things because the speculars kind of freak it out. Tweezers. Give me a second, okay? I acknowledge your presence and your willingness to play. Give me one moment. Ah. About what time would you want to get together there? Or, like I said, you can message about it later. That's smart. Let everybody in the world know when you're going to be someplace. I'm an idiot. Yeah, we'll message about it. Probably gonna have to slice over these. Well, I'm gonna be painting them chrome anyway, so this is just where the door handle is. That would actually be kind of cool. I know a lot of the people that are in here currently don't live anywhere near me, but that would be neat. stuck down too well. There we go. I'm probably going to top off on gas tomorrow after work anyway. You're seeing a lot of the reasons I tend to not do decals on stream. Oh, you give me a second. I don't know where you learned to bark. We don't have any dogs here. Just our neighbor's dogs. So what do you want? Huh? You want it? You want it? Go get it. Not so much for the decals. For the painting, it's more about patience than anything. Just don't have a cat that's going to distract you around. Boing. Or teeny bopper neighbors who see you tinkering on your car and decide to go, "Ooh, I like your car." Actually, do I have... Oh, I don't have my Amazon wishlist link in here. Give me a moment. I need to add that. I forget how. There's a way to put the link up, but I forget. I'm changing stuff on it all the time too. I'll figure it out again later. I'm really just trying to kill time where these loosen up. I like what it's doing, though. But as far as the airsoft thing, yeah, I wouldn't mind getting back into it if I could. I just don't know if I'd be able to hide the snark if I ran into somebody. It's like, oh yeah, I've got this gun with, you know, I spent this much money on all these parts, and I'm like, yeah, this gun's built from the carcasses of 4 other weapons. Frankie! Go. That could have been bad. This gun is made by the corpses of 4 other weapons and powered by the souls of my defeated enemies. I could have sworn I had those lined up. That's alright. This one sags down a bit, but I don't care. I can't fix it now anyway.
At the CRAV and TFK said that's bragging rights in itself.
Well, that's the skeletonized G36. It's got the stock from one, the foregrip from another, the body from the third. Actually, it's like 5 other weapons. The gearbox from another. Yeah, Milsim used to pay me with leftover parts when I was repairing their stuff just to keep it up and running. And yeah, they just gave me, you know, it's like once I'd used up enough parts from one to fix 2 others, they'd let me have the leftovers, and that's how that came to being. It's only been used once, and that was in the one day that the new, larger facility opened. Right as it got shut down. I would have loved to have seen what that could have expanded into. That was crazy big. Proto, thank you for the follow. How are you doing? I'm trying my best to get these decals to behave, but they're fighting me. Good enough for me. I'm not looking to go to the IPMS with this. What about these decals?
At Almanac said you've gotta also do to crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
Nah, this is airsoft, not, you know, medieval combat with swords. Get out of my water. You didn't bring your poof, so I can't throw it, so don't even go jumping up on the desk again.
At tried to go, but I was literally a day too late.
Oh, you would have loved it.
At CRABNTFK said poor timing.
If I wasn't going to be moving in a couple years, still don't know exactly when that's going to be, but it's not going to be too far off.
But the proper accent.
I would see if that old facility back at 600 is still available. See if it came available again. Sorry, stretching out my knee. We're probably going to take another break here in a few minutes after I get these next two decals on. And then after that, we'll probably start painting certain parts on this. Did he go away? Okay. I want to make sure I wasn't going to roll the chair over the cat. And everybody who was there that day still thinks something was fishy that the fire marshal would show up when they did. I don't even think I used the pulse rifle that day. I had the skeletonized one and just ran that. And I know running around with that had enough people going, what the fuck? Because they'd seen it with the M4, but never with a G36. Hell, I still have that little 200 FPS MP7. Alright, that's all I can do for the decals on this. There's still more to do, but they're more on the interior and the mud flaps and other things once it's all together.
CRABNTFK said sounds like you've got the tools.
The tools for what? Doing another indoor facility? Buy a stretch of warehouses up at BDO and just make it that.
CRABNTFK said yeah.
But the other thing I'd try to do is, you know how they had like the remote control lights for like capture the flag type situations? I'd also do like the bowling alleys where they have, sorry, I'm trying not to burp. Where they have the glow-in-the-dark days. Try and get people to actually wear like glow-in-the-dark stuff, and if you're using tracer rounds, they'll work because the entire area is just flooded with UV light. Just using black lights, nothing that'll burn your eyes or anything like that. Ooh, that settled in really well. Let me see how that glass attaches. I think I need to get that in first.
At Theoxcrav and TFK said that would be awesome.
And I think it's something Milsim was working toward. But by the time they were gaining their footing, that's when the difficulties with the other group started. And it kind of prevented them from really moving forward. They allowed it to be a bother instead of just doing. But that's all the bullshit drama we were discussing, which is neither here nor there these days, apparently. Come on. Come on. Get in there. Just trying to make sure it's fully seated. There. Get this stuff closed up. And out of the way. Get all this off of here. I am going to take another stand up and unlock the knee brake. Then we'll come back and we'll paint on these, do some detail painting on this. Maybe get the steering wheel done so we can get that tub installed into here. Because that has to go into here. So yeah. Be back in a few. Alright, we're back again. Yeah, all these grand ideas of what I could do all hinge on one thing that I don't have. Money. Or at least I don't have in the amounts that I need to do it. Alright, let's shoot these in some black. I might be able to carbon fiber some of this if I just cut the strips and lay it on, but then they also get gold strips applied over them for other details. Once I get it painted black, yeah, thank you. Once I get it painted black, I'll play around with the idea while it dries, and then I'll get this painted too. So, here's the paint. Speaking of which, before I start spraying, let's do this. I'll need a brush that I hadn't used in the liquid glue. This. At least get the initial line going. Then I can go back, tighten it up. Autofocus really does not want to work for me today, does it? Now this is gloss black that I had previously thinned for airbrushing. It needs to touch up a little fault right here that I've been staring at since the day I painted it. A little aluminum leaked through the masking. And it should all blend together pretty well when I start putting the final coats on for the gloss. Just trying to make sure I got a good, clean edge. That's the best I can do. And that's all that one decal was trying to recreate, is that. Alright. So we're gonna shoot more paint on some other parts too. That has to be white. Black, 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 black. Exhaust. What are these? 45 and 46. They may be a different type of mirror for another team that used this car. So I don't see them anywhere else. Yeah, we'll go with that for now. Alright. And on these screws...
At CRAD and TMK said phone is about to die.
Alright.
Reach out later.
Later. You have a good day. I believe these are aluminum, then black. We got a lot more black paint to shoot than I thought, so we're just gonna have fun and knock it out. Now this is supposed to be gloss black, but it's Vallejo gloss black, so it's more satin black. Which is fine. Now this is also supposed to be that gold-black mix. I may try and just make... you're not really going to see the bottom, so I'm not going to worry about the bottom side too much. But for other areas, I may make some carbon fiber cutouts for it and apply them. We'll see how it looks after test fitting, just to see what exactly I may or may not need. But once I figured out what was needed, this kit's actually become pretty fun. You know, once I looked at how to do it, what order it needed to be done in, it got a little less intimidating. And I know you guys think I'm Mr. Model Builder. I still get intimidated at shit. It reminds me of when I was a kid, and one of my first Tamiya kits was an M113 with a full interior. And the thing that I remembered most was how strikingly different the decal, or not the decals, the instruction sheet was. And how it was, sorry, burping. It was a good sheet, but it didn't hold your hand like Revell or Monogram or even Italeri at the time did. Once you got used to it, you know, it was fine. You could do what you needed to do. But it was intimidating. That and the fact that it was a kit with a full interior. I'd never built a kit like that before. Now I look at that kit and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll throw this together in an evening. But back then, no, that was a week or two ordeal. What was the first kit a lot of you built that made you go, this is...
Quarter 5148 said, hi everyone, hope everyone is having a good day.
Hey Keith, yeah, we're doing alright. Making some good progress on the F1 car finally. But what was your guys' first kit that made you go, this is more than I'm used to, you know? Which is the one that made you step back for a second and go, I gotta up my game on how I do this. Yes, there will be a lot of brush touch-up, but at the same time, this does make it a heck of a lot easier.
Quarter 5148 said, oh okay, good.
We're probably going to use canopy cement for these other parts that go on the body. I don't want to risk ruining that paint. And the decals, they could possibly go on or near. It's that front spoiler assembly. What color is A? Aluminum. So these are aluminum. This is mostly aluminum. All these can be painted black.
At Key Porter 5148 said mine was the railway Pandora by Hobby Boss. I was overwhelmed when I opened the kit, grinning squinting face emoji, rolling on the floor laughing emoji.
I think that kit would intimidate anybody. I appreciate it for the subject that it brings to the model building world. At the same time, I'd never build it. Whoa. Wonderful Vallejo nozzle spurt. Good thing it wasn't too heavy. Doing a second go around, make sure everything's nice and even. Set you over there to dry. Don't want to lose you either, I need that. I want to get these final exterior body parts on before I give it the final gloss over the upper part of the body, because I really like how that turned out. Alrighty. One more look over the lower pan.
At Key Porter 5148 said, "Oh yeah, that's very nice, great job."
Thank you. So once this thoroughly dries, you're probably going to get some low-tack tape, make some rough templates for the for these ducts here. They're part of a ducting system on the body. And that way I can put carbon fiber decals on that. This area here has them already in the kit. And then we'll just have to go and custom cut and fit all over the rest. I'm gonna have to find a new supply of gloss black. I can't get Vallejo anywhere up here anymore. And I'm not about to drive an hour just to get a bottle of paint. But one thing I've been wanting to try out, and maybe we can do that here in just a sec, is those new Hobby Lobby acrylics that are like $2 a bottle. I'll lay in some base pre-shading on a figure that I printed out. Okay. And then after that I'll probably end things. Give me 1 second here. Move this out of the way. Get some more music going too. Like, pause real quick, I'll get the parts to the figure and be right back.
At Keith Porter 5148 said, "How are your cats doing?" At Almanac said, "Speaking of new paints, I have really enjoyed the Kaleida Colorworks paints by Gallery that I've man blaring a bit with."
Kitties are doing fine. We had Frank down here earlier playing fetch. Okay. I missed some areas on the cleanup here. Missed some supports deep inside the wings. So this is going to be a darker toned figure overall, but I want to keep it warm looking still. So we're going to pre-shade with some black and then go in with some... Speaking of which, there's Allie. Hi, Allie girl. I'm sorry, there's not a lot of room for you, girl. Let me make some here. Give me a second. I know you're not like Frank. Hey, don't chew on the antenna. That's the best I can do for you, girl. I know, the RC tank's bigger than you are. But yeah, Hobby Lobby doesn't carry Vallejo anymore, so they have these. I've brush painted them a little bit and done some, you know, minor tests with them. But I want to pre-shade this figure and then go back over it with a 50-50 mix of this brown and the black for the base color, and then give it a wash. Kind of like a deep leather look. Just want to make sure I got all the supports out of the wings since I noticed I missed those. And then after this, I'll probably work on my M60A3 mine plow, or A1 mine plow. Okay. Alright. I haven't really gone over this too well for cleanup, so apologies in advance. I wasn't expecting it, but I figured I've got the airbrush out. We're here. May as well make a step forward. It just seems like figures don't do too well for me on here anymore. We'll see. The original image has the whole figure being kind of dark. Let me see if I can go find them. I could have sworn I had all the pictures saved. I'll have to find them later. Right now we're just pre-shading anyway. Allie, oh, you're in your donut. Good girl. Okay. So far, that's a good test right there. Shows that it's not too thick. But I also want to test its drying properties.
At Elmina said well. The algorithm is a fickle mistress. If you constantly seek to please her, she becomes unreasonable and domineering. You have to also build what you like sometimes.
I know. The algorithm's been weird lately. Like my RC tank stuff, consistently in like one night, it'll get 1,000 views overnight easy. And those are just for the shorts that I make. If I do a figure, especially if it's a clearly discernible female form, I'm lucky if it gets 100 in a month. Oddball stuff kind of falls in between. Scale stuff, about 1,000 to 2,000 after a while. But yeah, the figures take the hardest hit. And like you said, sometimes you just have to build what you want. The problem is, trying to show off what I build is getting... What's a good descriptive word? It's getting neutered. Yet, you know, in the shorts and the reels, every time you even go to click into it, you are bombarded by wannabe mattress actresses who are just peddling their buttholes on screen, for lack of a better description. Like, it's like, oh, okay, I just want to look at stuff of, like, cars and tanks. Oh, look at my butt. I don't want to see your butt. I don't care if you're playing a prank on your husband. What does you wearing spandex have to do with that, you know? And why is the camera constantly focused on it? If I wanted to see that, I'd go upstairs and annoy my wife. But even if you don't search for it, it's thrown in your face. So, yeah. How about we get an AI to fix that? I'm trying to decide which plan of action I want to take on the wings. It might be a mix of techniques. Kind of like get the shadows laid in like I'm doing, and then get the base color laid in from above to help those shadows remain. And then after that, do a light dry brushing just on the edges and the peaks to really pop them.
At Elmanox did much worse on meta platforms, but still an issue.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Meta's terrible at it. It's like you can't even get into reels without having to click on one of some floozy in tight tights or showing off in a thong or something. It's like you don't even have to search it. But the problem is you got to click through it to get to your feed that it thinks you like it. No, I don't like it. It's just stuck in my face. Is YouTube still up and working? I just got a message saying it doesn't have an active stream. Let me know. I'll go there and take a look now. Yeah, it's still live for right now. There, reconnected. Okay. It just looks like it was a communication issue. But is that YouTube warning me to watch what I'm saying? It's listening?
At Almanac said I'm watching, so it's working.
It just... I got a warning on here that it had disconnected. But you're absolutely not wrong, Almanac. It is worse on the meta-based platforms, both Instagram and Facebook. I'm glad I don't rely on them for anything important. I just post my model building and shit. I almost debated misting these with a green to purple and a green to blue shift after I painted them black, so they would shimmer like crow feathers. The character is called the Corrupted Nun. I just call it Corrupted. I found the files on CG Trader, thought they looked interesting, downloaded them. What I'm testing is their overall longevity, how well they spray, their opaqueness or transparency, depending on what color it is and all that. So far they're alright. They're spraying similar to Vallejo Model Air.
At Almanac said I'm really happy that YouTube will finally start tagging AI videos as such. Now they just need to give me the option to filter them out.
Yes! Kind of like how on Cults 3D, they allow you to brain poop. No. Sorry, Aries just messaged me, so hold on. On Cults 3D, when you're looking for figures, they have a tab for no AI. So if you only want figures created by real people that weren't just generated by using Meshi and other programs like that, you can select that. And I always have that switch turned on. And it wouldn't be hard for YouTube to do that. Because, again, in like YouTube Shorts, I'm tired of every other short being a AI-generated sci-fi story popping up with that annoying AI voice that you hear in damn near everything these days. I don't even know whose voice that is that they're using. And it's all set to somebody playing something on Minecraft or something. You want to get rid of shit content and free up some server space, YouTube? Get rid of that. I think we're off to a decent start here. But you're right, a no AI filter would be a good step in the right direction. And I wish you...
Almanac said shorts will have AI stamped across the video. Long form will have AI stamped right below the player.
But the problem is, even if it's on there, you have to initially watch it to see it, which gets it the view. I don't even want to see it. I want to be able to go into my profile and select no AI. And never have it cross my path. I think if we make our corset a darker leather on top of the black fabric, that would look really good. The fabric's going to be more dark brown.
They just want a period to fine-tune the detection mechanisms first.
Honestly, I don't think they care.
At Almanac said because everyone hates AI spot.
Yeah, for something that's so hated, why is it so prevalent? We wouldn't need data centers if we had more control on who's creating what with it and shoving it down our throats. But they even keep showing it as, oh, bring your pictures to life with AI, do this with AI. No, just let me take my fucking picture. The picture captures the moment. I don't need the people in the picture to keep moving after the fact like some freaky Harry Potter magazine.
At Almanac said they are bowing to popular demands. Initially, they weren't even going to tag them as AI. Now they are introducing it.
Which means enough people spoke loudly enough. Or who knows, maybe enough people actually left the platform because of it. But just think about how many more views regular channels like mine and others would have if people weren't so distracted by the AI crap that they were actually able to find your channel.
At Almanac said, I think it is also just a matter of time before flagging AI content becomes a legal requirement in the EU, for example.
I don't know, how would you... I get what you're saying, and I agree, but knowing the bureaucracy that is the EU, what would be the legal requirement for it? You know, look how difficult it is to get people to understand the concept of stop killing games in the EU, where all we want to do is set up a server to play our game after the company that owned it stopped supporting it. You know, it's possible. They did it with Star Wars Galaxies and a couple other games, so it's not impossible. But that's all we want, is the means to be able to enjoy our game without the company that owns it turning it on and off. That's all. You know, I'd love to be able to play Battlefield Bad Company 2. I know there were still tons of people playing it. I can't play it though, because the owning servers are gone. So you'd have to quantify AI content in a way that these idiotic bureaucrats within the EU Parliament could understand the impact of it and why it's necessary to rein it in and control its distribution in a way that's not detrimental. Oh, that was a big sentence. I know what I said made sense, but don't ask me to repeat it because I won't fucking remember.
Asks, at least it is being discussed at the highest levels in the yield.
Stop Killing Games was never really a U.S. initiative. It was started by an American, but it was primarily a European initiative. That's why anybody in the U.S. who signed the petition, sorry, your signing of the petition was invalid and didn't count towards the overall number at the end. It was never a U.S. consideration. But even if it isn't, that doesn't mean that the ramifications from it don't affect us. So we'll just have to wait and see on that. The only American impact I know of is Pirate Software shit the bed with it, and a lot of stuff happened to and with him because of it. That's the only fallout that I know in the U.S. from the Stop Killing Games movement. Outside of that, I don't know. And I think the reason that Stop Killing Games was a primarily European concern is because I think it started with some racing game owned by Ubisoft, and it was their European studio that was running it. They shut the servers down and turned off the game. I forget what game it was. Apparently people were playing it, but it wasn't that popular. And that's kind of the straw that broke the camel's back.
Said the crew.
Yeah. Like, there's not a lot of games that I play online. I liked Battlefield Bad Company 2, Alien vs. Predator, even Generation Zero. You don't need multiplayer to play it. It will work standalone. But it's more fun when you have 4 people playing it co-op. And if once they shut down servers for that, which is an inevitability, I won't be able to enjoy that with my friends. I don't know if there's a way to do that. I don't play it a lot as it is right now, mainly because I canceled my Xbox Live after their price increase. I've heard they lowered it, but I'm not about to turn it back on, given what I'm trying to save up for. There are developments in the Humvee world. I don't want to speak of them until I have more information. They're positive developments. Not exactly what I wanted to go for, but it could be a better short-term alternative with better long-term consequences. But once I know, you guys will know. Getting a lot of tip dry. I do have some retarder, but it seems to thicken the paint a little bit, so it'll be difficult to airbrush it properly. But out of the bottle, this stuff actually airbrushes pretty well. This is the $2 Hobby Lobby paint. The new stuff they got, replacing Vallejo in these bottles, it's actually not terrible, and it seems to stick pretty well.
Ed Almanac said the reason it was an EU petition was because of the much stronger history of consumer protections, and especially the right to repair laws enacted in the EU that has benefited users globally.
And that's what I figured. It was something more to do with European consumer rights than anything.
Ed Almanac said is my understanding.
That is my understanding as well. I just couldn't verbalize it as well as you just did. I don't know. If you guys would like to see more of this figure, let me know. If not, I'm just going to continue working on her off stream. Like I said, I don't know if it's the algorithm or just the interest, but figures lately don't seem to be doing too well. Which is why you haven't seen me doing too many of them. At least non-World War II Germanic figures. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to stick to that particular subject just to get views. I appreciate a good German vehicle from time to time, but I'm not going to become all about that just for that. Like you said, gotta make what I enjoy.
Everything became software as a service. You no longer bought a game, you bought a license to play a game, as long as they cared to offer it.
And I'm sorry, if I still have the hardware capable of playing the software, I would like to be able to enjoy that software. Like I said, the 2010 Aliens vs. Predator game, there's still people out there playing it.
I'd love to see more of her. She looks intriguing.
I could probably load it up in my Xbox right now and get into a lobby, and there'd probably be people out there looking for a game. Yeah, we might make her a Sunday, Monday stream subject. The fun part's going to be bringing out the volume in this skirt and in the wings. The render images of her show a primarily black outfit with a lot of brown highlights. I might lean more towards the brown because I don't want it absorbing too much. Let me see if I can find her on CG Trader and then just throw the link up here. Hold on. So yeah, I want to get her a bit warmer than the renders have her.
At Almanac said I agree. But as you read some of their EULAs, they specify that once the service no longer is offered, you have to delete all connected data and destroy all connected media.
Which is stupid.
The Busy Builder sent a link. At the Busy Builder 4071 sent a link. At Almanac said they are really draconian.
Well, it's because now they're like, okay, you played this game on the PlayStation. You played this game on the PlayStation 2. You played this game on the PlayStation 3. Now, buy it again. Remastered. No, just let me play the original fucking game, you know? Like, I don't think they're going to be making a remaster of Aliens vs. Predator 2010. One, the game is still pretty fucking good and fun as it is. And two, it didn't really do that well. But when it was out there, people were playing it, and people were having fun with it. Alright, I was out of paint. Whoopsie. And you know what? After this stream, I might get on the Xbox, put that game in, go into a lobby and see if anybody comes in. Because I can. Because I have the hardware, and I own the software, and apparently you're still able to connect on it. But yeah, I think you can see what I mean about wanting to make her a bit warmer than the render. Because trying to paint all that black could get annoying. But if I could make this look like worn leather, you know. Like deep worn leather, not that caramel colored leather, but the really deep dark stuff. But I hope everybody has a good weekend.
At Almanac said I am not disagreeing with you. I am just relaying some of the information disclosed in the South News hearing, because I actually watched the live streams.
I appreciate that. And, you know, I can see both sides of the story. I get it. The company can only maintain the servers for so long, for so many people, before they gotta say, well, this isn't doing anything for us. X amount of people haven't used it for X amount of months. It's time to start cutting back on it. And then after they do the cutbacks, they're like, well, X amount of people haven't used it for a year. It's dead. Move on to the next thing. You know, I get that. But that's what I was saying. A lot of people that are for it just want to be able to play it still. And that's why I use Star Wars Galaxies as an example, because there's a legacy server still in operation today that if you were in the game, you could recover your data and restart your profile where you left off and continue playing that game if you were so inclined to do so. And that's all people really want. they're not asking like, you know, Mr. Overreaction with his, oh, you want Blizzard to maintain the servers forever for World of Warcraft once it finally goes under. No. We want to be able to do that ourselves. We want to be able to maintain the private server ourselves as people who have bought the game, so we can continue to play it, especially if we have an invested character that we could download and put into our server and continue playing, right? It's more about that than that the owning company maintains servers to run it. They just want to make it open for the ability of the people who play the game to continue playing it after the company has lost interest in it, because they purchased it and they want to keep going, you know? Or like I was saying with Generation Zero, once it's no longer supported by the Xbox and by Avalanche, it's gonna disappear. But what if Aries and I one day just wanted to get on and just shoot the shit in an old game? And now we can't, because it no longer exists, but it's a game we both owned. This stuff is thicker than I remembered. Ooh, almost spilled that. But yeah, I'm probably going to continue on the F1 outside of the streams.
Ed Almanoff said, and they are fine to do that. They just have to push out a final update that stops requiring the game to connect to a licensed server as a minimum.
Yep, that's all it's got to do. You just have to remove the requirement for it to connect to the company servers and allow people to obtain the code to run their own servers. So that way when the game's online, it searches for that, or you can input it through whatever means. Kind of like how you used to be able to do with like Mech Warrior and Command and Conquer back in the day. I think you still can. In the original StarCraft, you didn't specifically need the Blizzard lobbies or the Westwood Studios lobbies to do it. You can set up your own servers. That's all they're asking for, is the ability to do that.
Ed Almanoff said, and optimally releases a server software to allow continued multiplayer on private servers.
Mm-hmm.
Ed Almanoff said is what SKG are asking.
And then you got people like the aforementioned Ferret Boy who just take everything out of proportion and thinking that the onus is on the company to keep servers live. No. The onus is not on the company. They just want people to be able to have the ability to do so after the fact. Alright, so far, the first test with this stuff is hopefully optimistic. I'm gonna let this dry. I just want to be sure it's dry fully before I really start fucking around with it too much. And then I'm gonna come back. I'll either use this as a base because it's black and brown enough that it's probably going to be the perfect mid color that I want. And then I can go in with a highlight of this somehow. I'll think it out. But I'm also thinking maybe, at least on the feathers, just to give them a little life. After I give them their initial coloration, mist it with a blue to purple, blue to green shifter. Like I said, to give it that iridescent look that crow feathers could have. I might play with that a little bit and see how that does. Run a little alcohol through here. I don't know how these paints respond to it, but I gotta clean them out of the airbrush because they are sticky. Oh yeah, it breaks them down. Good. That, and I also need to get some parts off the printer and print up another part. I'm trying to get my M60A1 with the rise armor finished to the point where I want it for a short. Because one, I'm running out of tanks to make shorts with. And two, I'm putting a mine plow on it. It won't be functional, but it'll be there for the look. And that's really what I want. But I'm probably going to be wrapping things up here. It's just been over 3 hours. Good stream today. Nothing terribly horrendous happened, which is always a good thing. Especially when dealing with decals. And yeah, I'm starting to get a bit more motivated on this again. I'm going to do a different base for it.
What printer are you using? I don't see layer lines.
I'm using an Elegoo Saturn II from 2022. Basic settings, 0.5 millimeter height. Just most of the time I get lucky with my alignments on parts, so I don't worry about layer lines too much. Yeah, usually they show up around here where you have boobs, but where you have like underhanging stuff when you print. And there's not even islands on here, which surprised me. I think I might have the layer height knocked down a little bit. Come on, autofocus, be nice. There we go. But whoever did the sculpting on this did a good job. There's some nice, sharp detail on here. And this isn't enlarged. This is how big the parts are, just off the printer. But I'm going to get going. I'll be back, depending on what Craven and I get up to on Sunday. I might be on later that evening or that night. I don't know. If not, we'll be back Monday, because I'm off Monday too. But I will see you all later. Y'all have a good day. Thanks for hanging out. And
looks like love at first sight to me.
Upsy, thank you for the resub.
Upsy just subscribed for 5 months in a row, PogChamp.
Yeah, sorry I'm cutting it short. I know you just got in here not too long ago, but yeah, it's been the usual 3 hours.
Just subscribed at tier 1 for 6 months.
But thank you again for the resub.
They have been subscribed for 5 months.
Oh yeah.
Upsy said, have a good one.
Yeah, resin printers, you can't beat them for layer
And
lines.
Almanac said resin printers are much better for layer lines.
Especially once you get your settings knocked out and you know how to angle things so the layer lines aren't as apparent. Yeah. And this is... I messed up and ordered it. This is the 8K resin. Usually I use a light gray water washable. This is the 8K dark gray resin. So it's been good so far. A little...
Almanac said laters.
Yeah, it's a little too stiff, a little brittle, but it's good. But yeah, take it easy, guys. I will be back either Sunday evening or Monday.